The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for The Media Zone with your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And the chance to win free movie tickets with the Poster Pairs game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the Media Zone. And Dave here.
This is going to be a long show for me.
And Dave with Dave just said right before we started, I've got and then stops. I don't know what he's got over there.
Oh, you might find out later.
Do you need a tissue? Is that what it is?
Nope.
No. Okay. I have a guess now.
This is going to be a hard show for me to do.
Maybe during the
Suffering
trailers
already.
we can check whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, we can't because the sound will still be on.
Okay.
Oh, it's going to be tough.
If you have to during a clip, let me know. We can go right to the clip audio.
You know what? I don't trust you. I think you'll say, okay, we got the sound off, and then you'll still have it on.
Okay, what do we have on tonight's show, Dave? We do films here for those of you that haven't seen the show in the past 30 years or whatever we've been doing. Our Kind of Traitor.
Ooh.
Sounds like a spy film. Purge election year. I had to look up and see which number we were on. This is apparently number 3.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Of the Purge series. And Tarzan.
Oh.
Which is the legend of Tarzan.
Is this a live action film?
Live action, except for the monkeys, which appear to be CGI.
Right.
And the BFG. Do you know what the BFG is?
Well, I might know what the BF stands for, but I don't know what the G is.
It's Big Friendly Giant.
Oh, I had the big part right.
Yes. And plus, we've got a few extra special bits we'll be doing depending on time.
All right.
We'll see how much time we have. We'll judge what bit should go in there. That's what we're going to do. But the first thing we're going to do is Our Kind of Traitor.
All right.
Do you want to do it, Dave?
Sure. Why not? I hope I can get through this. Starring Ewan McGregor, Damian Lewis, Stellan Skarsgård, and Naomi Harris. While on holiday in Marrakesh, an ordinary English couple, Perry and Gail, befriend a flamboyant and charismatic Russian, Dima, who, unbeknownst to them, is a kingpin money launderer for the Russian mafia. When Dima asks for their help to deliver classified information to the British Secret Services, Perry and Gail get caught in a dangerous world of international espionage and dirty politics. The couple is propelled on a perilous journey through Paris and Bern, a safe house in the French Alps, to the murky corners, the city of London, and an alliance with the British government via a ruthless and determined MI6 agent.
This is from a acclaimed spy novelist, I believe I read there.
Best-selling author. Tinker Tailor.
Of course, with this Skarsgård, we were just talking about it last time. He's in many of the Thor movies.
Oh, for God's sake.
But also, I don't know how they're related, coming up with Tarzan. The actor that plays Tarzan is Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh.
And this is Stellan Skarsgård. They must be related.
They must be. How many Skarsgårds can there be?
I don't think it's father and son, though. I think it's some other connection.
Well, when you mention how he was in the Thor movies, I have a theory, and that is, since there are literally every other film being made is now a superhero film, pretty much at this point, every actor has to have appeared in a superhero film.
Just about. It's the 6 degrees of superheroes.
There you go.
Who has not been in one yet?
I don't know.
And if you're not in one, some people want to be in them. I read that Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead wants to be Ghost Rider. He has his new motorcycle show coming up this summer. That is not regarding that the two Ghost Rider films that are out there bombed.
Well,
But
you
maybe-
need to get that bad taste out of your mouth because of the horrible actor that was in the Ghost Rider films.
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, jeez.
That's the one he wanted to do, Ghost Rider.
Awful. Let's move on, Ed.
Let's move on. The Purge, election year.
Look at that. Now that's a movie studio. Universal.
Right. Frank Grillo, Elizabeth Mitchell, and no name actors of any kind.
But they've been in superhero movies.
Somebody might have been. It's been 2 years since Leo Barnes stopped himself from a regrettable act of revenge on Purge night.
Ooh.
Now serving as head of security for Senator Charlie Roan, his mission is to protect her in a run for president and survive the annual ritual that targets the poor and innocent. But when a betrayal forces them onto the streets of D.C. on the one night when no help is available, they must stay alive until dawn or both be sacrificed for their sins against the state. Rated R for disturbing, bloody violence, and strong language.
Now you had mentioned in the last show how the rallies where Trump is involved.
Right.
There's always some kind of mayhem going on. Now, if Trump was stuck out in the streets during this night, he would be targeted.
Right. And Bernie Sanders.
You think?
Or does everybody like
You think Bernie Sanders?
Bernie is apparently semi-gone now.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much.
Who knows?
I think he was told by Obama,
Oh, yeah.
get out of the way. I'm going to go with Clinton. You get out of the way.
Now, has anybody seen any of the two previous? You've seen one or both, producer?
One.
The first one. How was the first one?
It was all right.
That one seemed more like it was a home invasion movie that was sort of about this premise, and with a little bit more budget, we've expanded it. But I don't. Maybe you can tell us. We kind of know what the idea of the Purge is. Everybody can go out there and shoot people, but was it ever explained why? It keeps people calm?
No.
No, it wasn't even explained.
Is it to keep the population under control?
I guess it was like that rollerball. At least that was a game, though, with a couple people. It wasn't everybody in the world going out and shooting everybody. Well, if you buy the premise, you'll buy the movie. And I guess we're on the third one, so somebody's buying this. Isn't they?
Apparently, making enough money. All right, let's move on to The Legend of Tarzan. Starring Margot Robbie, Alexander Skarsgård, and Samuel, what's in your wallet, Jackson.
And what's in my shield agent?
Oh, God.
Speaking
Yes,
of
see?
superhero.
Tarzan, having acclimated to life in London, is back to his former home in the jungle to investigate the activities at a mining encampment. Oh, apparently he's now working for the police. It's been years since the man once known as Tarzan has left the jungles of Africa behind for a gentrified life as John Clayton III, Lord Greystoke, with his beloved wife Jane at his side. Sounds like the Jetsons. Now, he has been invited back to the Congo to serve as a trade emissary of Parliament, unaware that he is a pawn in a deadly convergence of greed and revenge, masterminded by the Belgian Captain Leon Ram and his Minkies. But those behind the murderous plot have no idea what they are about to unleash. Rated PG-13 for sequences of action, of violence, some sensuality, and brief, rude dialogue. Oh, look at that. It's like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes meets Tarzan.
Tarzan was never one of my favorites, but this summer I feel like a good Tarzan movie, Dave.
Do you?
Do you think they
All
could-
of a sudden, after
Oh.
50 plus years of life,
All of a
where you have
sudden.
not been a Tarzan person,
Right.
you've decided your palate has changed. And
Yeah.
it's time for a good Tarzan
I
one.
saw that Greystoke long after it came out, and that was pretty good. That's the same thing where he goes back to England. But
Right.
here we can actually, via CGI, we can see Tarzan swinging around.
Oh, that's nice.
And we saw the gorilla swinging, which I've never seen a gorilla swing. I usually just see him sitting on the ground unless he's running after a young boy or
Right,
something.
and
in the
thrashing him through the water in his in the zoo. Although I don't think you can beat the Bo Derek version of Tarzan.
Oh my God! Maybe that's the Tarzan I should see. That was horrible. It was almost filmed with like a home video camera, and she was out there. And was there an animal in there? There was a lion that was chasing her on the beach, I think.
Yeah,
there was no regard for anybody's safety.
Oh well.
A lot of gorillas lately. They shot the poor gorilla in the cage. That was sad, Dave.
Well, Ed, it's the gorilla or the boy.
You know, it looked like the gorilla was protecting the boy.
Until he grabs him by the leg and drags him around violently?
Well, it was the mother, that shrill voice on the mother. If you watch the tape again, whenever that mother's voice comes on, the gorilla was moving the kid away. That's what he was up to. Poor gorilla was keeping the kid away from that mother with the voice there. Watch that again. Every time the mother yelled, "Mommy's here," the gorilla was enraged.
Is it like a dog whistle?
I think
voice,
it was.
You know how you blow the dog whistle that no one can hear except the dogs, and they go crazy? Maybe her voice drove the Minky crazy.
When there's a young boy in with a gorilla, you gotta be quiet. And nobody's learned anything from the Jurassic Park. You don't move, you stay quiet.
His vision's based on movements. And freeze!
Oh, God.
Sorry.
All right, what's next? Do we have another one?
The BFG.
Oh, I guess I'm doing this
Yeah,
one.
you can do that
It's
one.
Steven Spielberg, who I love, but I don't know about this one, Dave.
Well, let's see if June 29th pops up in here.
Rebecca Hall, Bill Hader, Mark Reliance, or Reliance?
I don't know.
Jermaine Clement. This film tells the tale of a young girl, the Queen of England, and a
Benevolent.
Oh, you should have taken this one.
You want me to do it?
Giant, known as the BFG, who, despite his intimidating appearance, turns out to be a kind-hearted soul who is considered an outcast by the other giants because, unlike them, he refuses to eat children.
Oh, that's nice.
They set out on an adventure to capture the evil man-eating giants who have been invading the human world. Rated PG for action, peril, some scary moments, and brief rude humor again.
He doesn't eat children because he's afraid they're going to get stuck in his throat. You see the size of his neck in this?
Now, the thing that's putting me off on this film is this guy that plays the giant was the one who stole the Oscar, Dave, from Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, who's that?
It was Mark Reliance, or whatever his name is.
Oh, I don't
He
even
was
know
in that spy movie that Spielberg did with Tom Hanks. Remember, everyone knew that Sylvester Stallone was going to get the Oscar for his long career.
I will say this. I did not go along with that
You did not.
train of thought
No.
when you said his lifetime achievement, of which I can't think of too many achievements other than Rocky that would warrant a lifetime achievement.
What about from 1986, Cobra, Dave?
No.
Which we'll be doing.
Is that the one where he's the you're the disease and I'm the cure?
Yes. BFG. Well, maybe there's something here, Dave.
Maybe.
Based on that Roald Dahl or whatever who did the Candyman everybody likes, apparently. I never really got into the Willy Wonka films of any variety. Okay, well, we have DVD releases.
Oh, it's exciting. And look, it fits on the screen this week.
I think we've corrected it this week.
What?
Do you remember this movie from like 78 or 9?
No.
It was two movies put together. I think a musical and a gangster film with red buttons.
Well, that tells you right there the
Richie
fine
Scott.
quality of that.
Harry Hamlin was in it.
Barry Bostwick and Art Carney.
Huh. I remember it on HBO, and I remember I didn't like the first movie, and I didn't like the second movie. Movie, they were both bad. Is one new movie.
2-minute warning.
Now, this I remember seeing at the theater.
I don't.
Sort of a disaster-type movie where there's a sniper in there. Long before the current trend where everybody's shooting everybody. This was in a football stadium. Mm-hmm. Jack Klugman was in there. And it was like, the Poseidon Adventure. A lot of celebrities were watching the football game. And you were going to see who was going to get picked off when he started shooting.
It's the old-time version of Sharknado. where all the celebrities show up and get offed by flying sharks.
I remember for the...
Oh, jeez.
Yes,
Shark
it's
Exorcist.
Shark Exorcist. Another in the shark films. Very
Satan
popular
has
again.
Jaws. Oh, man.
We have not seen Sharkenstein yet from the Polonia brothers. You know, they do those very low budget films. That's coming out this summer. Oh. Yeah, I remember for the TV version of 2 Minute Warning, because it was too violent, we couldn't have people shooting people. There was a sniper in the football stadium as a distraction for the filmed for TV scenes of a jewel heist next door. So the sniper was shooting the lights and various other things. He wasn't killing anybody.
So they basically changed the script and the whole story.
Changed the whole thing for TV. They would do that Universal. All right, let's see. Oh, we do have some deaths.
Oh.
People that have passed away, and we pay tribute to them here.
Is that what you do?
Like we did with
Think you mock them?
China last time.
Oh. Or at least Safer from 60 Minutes, who just retired and then literally within days was dead.
Well, he did his time.
Yes, he
His
did.
minutes were up.
Oh, waiting for that, weren't you?
No, I just came up with that right there.
Oh, that's very
That's
creative.
how quick we worked here.
Is it?
84. It was a good long run, though, on TV and in the life.
Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey.
This was included for Dave. I wouldn't have known who he was, but I looked him up. He was a...
Pretty sure that picture on the lower right is not Gordie Howe.
No, that's the guy he beat up there. There was a very famous fight, apparently, where he beat this poor man to a bloody pulp next to him there.
Well, the Gordie Howe hat trick is a goal, an assist, and a fight in a game.
Oh.
But he never really did many of those, but he was a very tough hockey player back
There was
in
a
the
lot
day.
that looked like he played in the 50s, but then there were some later color ones.
Yes,
Did he play later
He played
on?
in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s.
Oh, wow.
He played until he was 51.
I guess you can play hockey that long.
Well,
Or not, or at least
no, he was good. He was still good. But it's a different league now.
No fighting today, right?
Well, not as much.
Not like that.
Oh,
Alan Young.
Philby and Wilbur.
He was in the Time Machine, the classic one on top, and then a brief part in that terrible one that was filmed partially in Troy here.
Oh, one with Guy Pearce.
Yes.
And then he was did voiceovers for, what was it?
Scrooge McDuck, he did into his 90s, it said.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Scrooge McDuck sounds like, but he was the voice.
Sounds like an old
It was the Donald
actor.
Duck, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Voice, sort of, but he was more intelligible.
But maybe he took his dentures out and that was just his voice.
Oh, no. And then Mr. Of course, many seasons that was on.
Oh, Bert Kwok, better known as Kato from the Pink Panther series of films.
He was in, I think, just about every one of them, even the ones Peter Sellers wasn't in.
Right.
Like this one down
With
here.
Robert Benigni.
Yes, the son of Pink Panther.
Yes.
And then he popped up in a couple James Bond movies. There's Goldfinger down there. But we remember him as Kato, and a phrase we can't even use in today's politically correct.
Would it have to do with a color?
The color I use for his name, in fact.
Well, we could say it because it was in the context of the film.
In the context of the 70s,
Yes.
Peter Sellers called him what, Dave? You can
He
do it.
said his friend with the little yellow skin.
You
It
can't-
nearly scared him out of his little yellow skin.
You could do that in the 70s, but today you can't.
No, you can't. Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
all together.
the greatest. He was. He got that, I guess, apparently in the late 70s it started, right?
What, being called the greatest?
No, the Parkinson's.
Oh, well, yeah, I think, well, he may have been fighting still in the late 70s.
Yes.
So I don't know when he was originally diagnosed. Could have been early 80s. I don't.
Do you
really
remember
know.
when he was fighting the wrestler, which I think was on HBO when we had it? It was a Japanese wrestler, and all he did was get on his back and kick at him.
I don't remember
Don't
that.
remember that? There he is with Elvis down there. Elvis is in his high stage there.
The
and
Beatles.
the Beatles, and then, of course, his Parkinson's companion there.
Oh, can't it just be his companion, his friend?
Well, they have the same disease. We're both working on it to prevent these disasters. Apparently, Michael J. Fox is all right to show up at a Philadelphia convention.
I heard about that.
And collects hundreds of dollars, apparently, for the VIP package where you get your picture taken with Michael J. Fox and Doc Brown and Leah Thompson.
Hope it's got good shutter speed.
Oh, no. People said he was okay there from a few things.
I saw him show up on, was it Kimmel a while back with Christopher Lloyd?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for last year's reunion.
Was it the anniversary of
Anniversary of when they went into the future.
Oh, 30 years, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Speaking of 30 years, we can take a look back at 1986 here.
Oh, our films? The film?
When we were going to the movies every week.
Every week?
We would see a film on Friday or sometimes Saturday and then tape the show.
Or we would see a film, walk out of the film, go into the bathroom, and then sneak into another film.
We did that. I remember seeing just about all these films at the theater.
I don't know if I've seen them in the theater, but I did see that. Number 5 is alive.
Saw that in the theater. That's when we had an Indian who wasn't even an Indian.
That's right.
As the co-star, and that's the only place we would see an Indian then. And now, any trip to Walmart. It's true, there was no Indians in the area at the time in
What
86.
about all the 7-Elevens?
We didn't even have
No?
7-Eleven.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
We didn't even have an Indian that could play an Indian. We had to get an actor.
That's
What was his name?
I can't think of his name.
Forget.
Fisher Stevens.
Right. We didn't have an Indian actor then.
There's Cobra. Awful film.
I just got the roll along symbol there. Was that for time or for subject matter?
Yeah.
Just stating historical fact, that's all.
Okay.
Yes.
Crime is a disease. Meet the cure.
I saw this at the drive-in,
This
I
movie
remember.
was awful.
Why do I remember where I saw the films more than the films in 1980?
This was with Brigitte Nielsen.
Oh, yes.
Back when she actually was something you could look at without vomiting.
Oh, no. Raw Deal. This is the one where we went to the drive-in. I think it was all of us. If you did that show, or Mike Keene did the show, I can't remember. But Mike Keene from people will remember the Music Spotlight show from the...
Nobody will remember that.
And we saw the film at the drive-in. Then we went right home and did the show at like 12 o'clock at night. It was the worst show. I think we called it the God
Then
Awful
that's saying
Show.
something.
Were we drunk?
It was the travesty show. That's what we called it. It just did not work out well when you tape a show at 12 o'clock. And neither did the film, as I remember.
I like his new commercials he does when he says whatever he's doing, and he says, "Download it now on the App Store."
Right.
I don't know what's an App Store.
Yeah, it's that game he does.
Poltergeist 2.
Now, speaking of the drive-in, do you remember the story behind seeing Poltergeist 2, Dave?
Is this the one with the wire?
We saw this at the drive-in,
Yes.
and a man was trying to get between the cars.
Right.
And we said to the man,
Well, you have the speaker
Right.
that's hooked onto your window.
Yeah, we have to explain it because there's no
Right.
speakers today.
But back then, you had the speaker, right? You hook it on, and you had the wire connecting it to whatever underground, whatever it was. But this one did not have. Was this a technology, an advancement in technology?
I don't know, or we just were...
Or was it
There was no
broken?
wire running
But there was
across
no
the-
wire.
There was no wire.
And he came running between the car and the pole.
And he stopped.
And he stopped and tried to leap over a non-existent wire and
Right.
kind of stumbled over there. And you said,
We have no wire on this side, sir. That was the story of Poltergeist 2.
There you go.
That and the dentures from Will Sampson. Yeah, I don't think we can do. There were so many 86 films. We may have to come back to this on another show.
Karate Kid 2.
What was the line that we always said on the show that came from this film? Remember, he was always getting the other guy. He wanted the other guy, his friend, to fight him. Sato, wasn't it Sato?
I don't know.
Fight me, Sato.
Sato. What about Fight Me Kato.
All right, I guess there were so many films in '86. We'll come back to those.
Oh, okay.
We have more shows to do. We can come back to that.
Only 2 more years left, folks. Is it the Poster Pairs game?
Remember when we come back, we left off at Karate Kid, Dave. I'm going to write that down.
Just write down Sato.
All right.
It's Poster Pairs game where you have sent in an entry with 2 numbers from 1 to 6. And if we select your entry and reveal what's behind the 2 numbers you provide us, that they match, you win 2 free movie passes, like David Mattison did last week. If you write Spin the Wheel, like David Mattison did last week, we'll spin the wheel. And you could win 10 tickets, or you could lose them both. Or you could just keep the 2, like David Mattison did last week.
Don't forget Lawrence Katz the previous 2 weeks.
I can't. I only can remember last week's show because it just happened 45 minutes ago.
In fact, everybody that spun the wheel appeared to get the same.
Why are you blurry, Ed?
Am I blurry?
On the monitor, you're blurry.
Am I okay in the production
now
booth,
you're better.
So that autofocus on our technological cameras there. Let me quickly. We got more time than we did last week.
All right, here we go. Lawrence Katz! 1 and 5.
Okay.
But he's not spinning the wheel.
Why not? He spun last time.
Well, maybe he's mixing it up a little.
Maybe that's an older entry.
1 and 5. Wasn't that last
1 and
week's
5.
winning entry, 1 and 5?
I think it was.
Could it be again?
Oh, that was the winning poster.
I think it was 1 and 5 last week.
You know, I had an idea for new posters. Well, let me run this by you and see if you would enjoy this idea. It would give people more chances to win, though. Maybe we don't want that. There were 6 James Bonds.
Yes.
So we get a poster from each of the 6 James Bonds movies.
Okay.
And you don't match, you would match if they were successive James Bonds. He doesn't like this idea. Sean Connery.
If you're having difficulty explaining it, it's probably not a good idea.
I guess we'll do that another time. I'll explain how that works. It would give people 2 more chances to win on the board, though.
Successive meaning in a row?
Yes, if you matched Sean Connery and Roger Moore.
Oh.
Whichever 2 Bonds were close to each other would be a winner.
Wouldn't it be Connery and George Lazenby?
That's right.
Wow.
Boy, you know your James Bonds.
And I've only seen maybe 2 of those.
And George Lazenby and Roger Moore would be a match.
Right. All right, here we go. If you want to enter this fine game, James Bond or not, it's MediaZone95@gmail.com, MediaZone95@gmail.com, and 2 numbers from 1 to 6. And if you win, you can spin the wheel. If you write spin the wheel, and this is what happens if you spin the wheel. You could win up to 10 tickets, or 0. But there you go.
We've had people winning tickets the past 3 weeks, so we did have a run. We had a dry spell for months, Dave.
Oh, we did.
And then we had 3 in a row, so that's good, even though we didn't have one this week.
That's okay, because didn't he win a bunch last
Yes.
segments ago?
Yes, he won 4 tickets in the past couple weeks.
Look at that.
Pretty good for all the summer films.
Yeah.
So next time maybe we'll finish up our look at the 1986 films. We also have 96, which wasn't terrific. Look at that. And you have a little thing about James Bond coming up.
That's true.
I think that's next week.
All right.
So I guess we'll see you then.
The Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.